now? When did interior design come into the picture?
I remember as a child growing up in Benin, I remember on rainy days we would stack wooden stools up. I would stack them up and turn them into little kiosks and stalls. And then I'll take all the tins out from the kitchen and all the bits and bobs and toys and arrange them and force my brothers to shop with me with Monopoly money. But it was just a way to pass time. I had zero desire to go into business. I actually wanted to be a doctor. I would go through my father's medical books as a child, and I was obsessed with the gory pictures of wounds that were oozing with pus and turning green, and, you know, the abscesses and all of that. I was really obsessed with it, and he always explained what they were to me. So I had an interest in medicine, and in many ways it was already set in stone that I was going to be a doctor, because I wanted to be one. I wanted to be like daddy. But then I came over to the UK, and the fact that my parents never stopped affirming us and told us how intelligent we were worked against me, because I ended up not studying for A levels and I failed woefully and couldn't get into medical school. And so I then went and I studied pharmacology instead, with the intention of switching to medicine, but then got married in my second year and became obsessed with doing up our flats. And that's when the whole interior design thing came into play. I would spend more and more time at home improvement stores and less time in lectures at University of Hertfordshire. And eventually I admitted to myself that I had dropped out. So I went and I did an interior design course and became an interior designer.
You've also had the taste of the American dream as well, haven't you? What was it like for you, you know, losing the American dream and having to start over again?
That came about when my husband came back from work one day and said, why don't we move to the US? And I said, yes, let's go. And so we sold up and we moved over there. And there I got introduced to luxury interiors for babies and children. That was a whole new world for me. And we purchased this beautiful business and life was going well. We were living the American dream. The boys were happy. But then the recession hit in 2008 and we lost everything, and then came back to England. It was hard. It was hard because I felt this is not supposed to happen to me. This is the sort of thing that happens to other people. Bearing in mind, I had never had any challenges in life. I'd never faced any real life challenges. So it was new for me and I rejected it. I was like, no, this isn't me. This isn't for me. But then when it came to a point where I couldn't deny the reality that was staring me in the face, the minute I accepted that we had failed, I had lost everything, I actually received a surge of power to start again. And so for a while, I denied and I hid from the reality, even though I was working in the background to get back up. But then I had the privilege of reading an article in a magazine one day where two different stories were told of the same woman. And one was very upbeat and inspirational, and the other one was very down in the dumps, real. And I realized I had only been telling that one story about myself to myself and to others, which was the sad part of me. So I rewrote my story, and that just gave me such a boost of life, and it's changed ever since. So I don't really see failure as failure any longer.
And what led to the focus on luxury baby interior design?
It was because that was all I knew. So having lived in the US and the business I purchased in the US was a luxury baby furniture store, I got introduced to premium wood and craftsmanship that had been in families for generations.